How does an album that's on its way out of the charts go on to become the biggest selling album of all time? The first single was described as goofy and Michael's worst idea since then. So how did Thriller become the biggest selling album ever? October 18th, 1982. After a 2-year absence from the charts, Michael returned in October 1982 with a new single, The Girl Is Mine, from his yet-to-be-released new album, Thriller. It was a duet with Paul McCartney. Although a worldwide hit, it received mixed reviews and was criticized for being goofy and a bad idea. One critic referred to the song as a sappy duet, and it was considered that Jackson's upcoming album, Thriller, would be a disappointment. According to Michael's 1988 autobiography, Moonwalk, Michael's record company thought Thriller would be lucky to sell a couple of million copies. Confidence in the album was definitely not high. Even Michael himself miscalculated the album. He and Quincy decided to release The Girl Is Mine as the first single. Michael said in his book, Moonwalk, "When you have two strong names like that together on a song, it has to come out first, or it gets played to death and overexposed." It's interesting that Jackson was worried this song would overshadow his other singles, such as Billie Jean and Beat It. Again, in his own words, he said, "We had to get it out the way." November 1982. Following the mixed success of The Girl Is Mine, the album Thriller was released worldwide. Overall, the album received positive reviews and it would enter the Billboard Hot 100 at number 11. However, jumping across the pond, things were not going so well. After entering the UK album charts at 29, Thriller climbed up to 15 and then fell hard.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Within 1 month, the album had fallen all the way back down to number 36. Jackson's next move was to release Billie Jean. Jackson's second single from the Thriller album would become an instant classic and within weeks would top the charts worldwide. However, trouble arose when a new cable channel, MTV, refused to play the video. At the time, MTV saw themselves as a rock-orientated channel. They claimed that the current black artists didn't fit with the vision of their channel. Walter Yetnikoff, the president of Jackson's record company CBS Records, was enraged. Yetnikoff said, "I said to MTV, I'm pulling everything we have off the air, all our product. I'm not going to give you any more videos." And with that, MTV relented. The floodgates were now open and the scene was set for Thriller to explode. The Billie Jean video debuted on March 10, 1983 and went into rotation on MTV and proved to be one of the most popular videos on their schedule, further increasing sales of its parent album Thriller. The third single from Thriller, Beat It, would make its video debut on MTV a few days later. The video would prove to be groundbreaking. It would be Jackson's introduction of his signature mass choreographed line dancing. Beat It showed Michael in a new light. This was no disco song. His appeal now stretched to rock audiences worldwide. Jackson's third single was a huge success and, again, sales of his album Thriller continued to increase. The success of Billie Jean and Beat It, both in the charts and on video, would send Thriller to the top of the charts worldwide. By March 5, 1983, Thriller occupied the #1 spot in both the USA and UK, selling 2 million copies worldwide, as the record company predicted. Like I stated earlier, confidence in the Thriller album was not as high as you may have assumed, and 2 million copies was about as far as the record company thought it could go. Jackson, however, had other ideas. During the recording of Thriller, Michael was asked by Quincy Jones and Rod Temperton if he would be disappointed if the album didn't sell as well as his previous album, Off the Wall. Again, it was another hint that confidence in the album was not sky high, and when Jackson told them Thriller would be the biggest selling album of all time, they laughed.
About Michael's room, and I see on this wall, he's right, I will sell 20 million records on his mirror. I said, "You out of your mind." I would tell him that, you know. I said, "Michael, you might sell about maybe 7 but not 12.
What happened next changed everything. Michael's performance of Billie Jean at Motown 25 sent Thriller on an unstoppable rampage. The performance was broadcast on May 16, 1983. By May 23, Thriller had gone from 2 million copies sold to 5 million copies. By June 21st, just 1 month later, sales had doubled to an unbelievable 10 million copies sold worldwide. And it didn't stop there. As more and more people saw the performance and the MTV videos, Thriller kept on selling and selling. By November 1983, Thriller had sold an amazing 13 million copies.
What a piece of work. Thriller, a long time coming. Michael Jackson's Thriller.
In December 1983, Jackson's masterpiece, the short film Thriller, debuted on MTV. The video is regarded as the greatest pop video of all time. Following the premiere, Thriller would go on to surpass the 20 million mark within the same month. The album sales now went into overdrive. Within 6 weeks, the album hit 25 million in sales and was declared the biggest-selling album of all time. The same month, the Thriller album won Jackson a record 8 Grammy Awards. And by March 1984, Thriller had sold an astonishing 30 million albums worldwide. At one point, the album was averaging 1 million copies sold per week. This is the story of how Thriller became the biggest-selling album of all time.